Hello, book lovers, and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins, and today I'm talking to award-winning author Cheryl Meyer. Cheryl is the author of the book It Feels Good to Feel Good. This book is for anyone with chronic pain looking for answers. You don't have to resign yourself to a life of pain and pills. In this book, you'll learn what is causing your pain and how to eliminate it, how to find a practitioner that will help you gain back your health, reduce your inflammation, and feel great again. Cheryl also coaches private clients and groups on the same subject. Hi Cheryl, thank you for coming on Book Talk Radio Club and welcome to the UK. I understand this is your first visit here.
It is, and I'm having a fabulous visit.
Oh, that's good. So you personally have 18 food sensitivities, which are foods that you refer to as your kryptonite. I love that. Eliminating all of these foods was your first step to feeling good again. How did you find out that these foods were your kryptonite?
Well, it was a process. I was quite sick, and I started researching everything I could because my conventional doctor was not helping me.
Right.
And I came across a whole team that were doing seminars about leaky gut, which was a fascinating subject. And then I started researching what caused leaky gut because they believed that leaky gut caused autoimmune disease. And it ends up that food sensitivities and toxins were the two of the main things that caused autoimmune disease. So then I studied how would I find out what my food sensitivities would be. I was born with some. I was born in Pittsburgh, and I joke that I popped out allergic because I had some allergies from the time I was born. But I knew it was more than that because I knew what to avoid from that. And I discovered that there was two ways to find out. One was an elimination test, which is where we started, which is the most normal culprits.
Right.
But they didn't do a lot for me. They did some, but not enough. And there's an expensive test called the Cyrex test.
Right.
And it took 3 rounds of those that I did over a period of 2 years to discover what all of my culprits were. And I'm not normal, which is not a surprise. But a lot of the things that I am allergic to or that I'm sensitive to are herbs, which was a surprise.
Oh, that's
Mint
strange.
and mustard and fennel, basil, they're all kryptonite to me. And avoiding those is harder than you would realize. But it's also some of the normal things like dairy.
Right.
Soy.
Right.
So there's 18 of them. I actually have cards printed up. So when I go to a restaurant, I pull out the card and say, go to the kitchen and find out what you can feed me.
Right.
Because when I cook myself, it's easy to eat around it. But when I'm out, it's a little more tricky.
White refined sugar is a huge problem for people as it is addictive. The more we have, the more our body craves, yet it's so bad for us. Sodas are absolutely loaded with it, aren't they? I mean, I love the chapter in It Feels Good to Feel Good where you list all of the things that Coke is actually good for. Can you name some of them for Book Talk Radio Club's listeners, please?
There's absolutely no value to Coke at all, but it does do havoc. It's rot gut. So what can it do? It can clean bloodstains out of your clothing. It can fix the chrome on your car. It can clean your contacts on your car battery.
No wonder it's no good for our physical bodies.
It literally, it just goes to your stomach and creates havoc.
Oh.
As I said, there's no food value to it, and it doesn't matter if it's the one loaded with regular sugar or if it's the one loaded with fake sugars. They both have horrible impact on the body. So just don't drink it. It's not worth it.
I find that when I listen to what my body wants to eat and let it guide me around the supermarket, I'm always drawn to fresh vegetables and fruit with vibrant colours. To me, there is food that makes me feel alive after eating it, such as fresh vegetables and fruit, and then there's what I call dead foods, such as processed food, bread and cake. However, even knowing this, I'm sometimes drawn to chocolate. Am I correct in thinking that chocolate is also toxic for our body?
No.
Oh, really?
It is an antioxidant.
Ah.
What's toxic to your body is the sugar that's added to chocolate.
Right.
So as long as you stay in reasonable amounts with 70% chocolate or higher, and I buy organic free trade chocolate, the brand I like is called Theo, because I think it tastes the best. We have a piece of chocolate every day.
Oh, right.
And a Theo only has 3 grams of sugar in it.
Oh.
So it's a treat that's delightful. It makes rich living this way.
Oh, that's good to know. I've got to tell all of my friends, you can eat chocolate.
You have to eat the right chocolate.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with toxins, and you don't want the ones that are loaded with sugar.
I remember watching a documentary a while back called Forks Over Knives and was absolutely horrified when I learned how bad dairy products are for us. Why are dairy products so detrimental for one's health? I mean, we're brought up to believe that cow's milk is wholesome and good for babies and growing children.
Dr. Mark Hyman, who's one of the doctors I follow, just wrote an article that milk is the perfect food for baby cows. It doesn't even have a protein in it that is the right size for us to utilize. I'm not saying you can't have any dairy, but you have to be very careful what dairy you have. The problem with our dairy is because factory farm dairy is loaded with hormones and antibiotics and all kinds of things that are just downright harmful to the body. And if you're going to use dairy, you need to use the right dairy, which is from grass-fed cows, and it has to be full fat. There are terrible things that they do to the milk when they take the fat away, which is the most expensive part of the milk, and they start putting in powdered dry milk, which causes cholesterol and all kinds of other problems. So you don't want the hormones, you don't want the antibiotics, and then, some dairy is okay. The worst thing about dairy is rather than building up your bones, it actually is leaching calcium out of your bones to try to protect your kidneys, because milk in itself is very acidic. That was all shocking to me.
Yeah, oh my goodness, it is to me too. I find I can't drink cow's milk, but I have to buy lactose-free cow's milk.
Right. So I'm allergic to both the casein and the whey. The good news is I can use ghee, which is clarified butter. So
yeah.
I take to the butter without having the downside of the dairy. But that's the only dairy that I eat at all.
Amazing, isn't it? These things we think are good for us, we're taught that they're good for us. They're really not.
Your marketing campaign.
Oh. You say, and I quote, "I woke up one morning and my lips and my tongue were swollen, and finally I figured out it was fabric softener." I find this very interesting because I have the same problem with very strong scent. In fact, I take loratadine, which is an antihistamine, every day to counter the problem. I wish I could find some way to avoid taking them, but we are surrounded by toxicity and we can't live in a bubble. So how on earth can we avoid everything that causes problems?
You can't. It's all about toxic load. With each thing that you find in my book that you can eliminate, you get one step closer to protecting your body from overloading it with toxins, which is why it's so important to read my book. There is a natural cure for antihistamines, which is quercetin, which is an antioxidant that my body loves, and it has eliminated my need for any antihistamines, which I find amazing. But you want to reduce your toxic load as much as possible, and you do the best you can from that point forward. You are going to come into contact with toxins because our world is surrounded by them, and it's big business, big agriculture, big food, big pharma. They all are using toxins.
Yeah.
So to take as many as we can protects our body to live a longer and healthier life.
It's amazing. I mean, my husband bought me some beautiful lilies for my birthday last week, and I had them in the lounge, and that night I had to put them back out in the garden on the patio because I couldn't breathe properly. The scent was so strong, and I thought it was synthetic scents, but apparently it isn't.
No, it's a lot of the scents, and they're kryptonite to you.
Yeah, very much so. I have to remember that one. We're beginning... Sorry?
It would protect your body against even the scent of the flowers.
Amazing. We're beginning to understand that Western medicine treats the symptoms, not the underlying cause. Is this the only reason why medical drugs are so bad for us?
Actually, we need some medical drugs. But for every medical drug that we take, it takes something else out of our body. There's a fabulous book called Drug Muggers that tells you, like example, I'm diabetic, I take metformin. It is pulling vitamin C out of my body. So I counteract it by taking additional vitamin C. You have to know what you're doing. So I try to avoid as many drugs as possible. I don't use any over-the-counter drugs at all. I have found natural solutions to all of those drugs now.
Yeah.
But we need some drugs. We just need to make sure that we know what they're doing to us.
Yes, absolutely. What they give, they then take away a bit, don't they?
Yeah, it's the more you read, the more frightening it is.
Long-term stress is also a huge factor when it comes to damaging our physical body. You talk about toxic stress in your book. What is toxic stress?
Everybody has some stress, and we function well with some stress.
Mm.
It becomes toxic we have it.
Yes.
If I run into a tiger, I need a certain amount of adrenaline and a rush in order to save myself.
Sure.
But we don't have tigers that we're running into anymore, and yet we're still running 20 hours a day at that kind of a stress level. And what that does is it depletes your cortisol, and which I was down to, not quite to absence disease, but I was very low, and I had also depleted my DHEA, which is what replenishes the cortisol. So you want to be aware of your stress level, you want to reduce it as much as possible. There's a fabulous breathing exercise in my book by Dr. Andrew Weil that has significantly lowered my pulse and my stress to the point that even my functional doctor is amazed at how well I can control it when I need to. I'm a type A personality. I run on stress. So being cognizant of it and doing some meditation and taking care of my stress level has been very important in terms of my overall health.
You've received some great feedback for It Feels Good to Feel Good, including, if you want to truly feel better, clean up. Just one tip from Cheryl's book will change your life. She has written the ultimate source for getting well through detoxification. Of course, it goes without saying we all deserve to live a happy and healthy life, but no matter what, there are some people that just don't believe that toxins are causing their health issues. How would you go about changing their minds?
A couple of things. We in the United States are the most wealthy country in the world, but we're running 37th in health. We have 10% of the population with diabetes. In 10 years, 37% of the population will have diabetes.
Whoa.
50% of our population now has autoimmune disease. 1 in 3 will get cancer in our lifetime. And this is all being caused because toxins are poison. So when you explain that toxins are poison, you start to have a new view of why it's important to reduce your toxic load. I even read a statistic which I found most frightening, that by 2025, 25% of the population of our children will be autistic. Although they're not sure what's causing this rapid rise, it's bound to be connected in some way to toxins. So we have to, obviously we're bankrupt with our health system.
Sure.
In the United States. If we start to reduce, and we can do it ourselves, if we can start to reduce our toxic load and vote with our dollars, we can impact the health of ourselves and our families and ultimately of our earth. So I'm very passionate about it.
So what is the net result of living in all these toxins that we've talked about today, Cheryl?
Oh, well, it's that we're so sick. So understanding the toxins and that's one reason I wrote the book, is I wanted to write the manual for other people who got sick like I did. I don't want them to go there. But I also want them to become what I call an army of one, where we all join together in our own individual quest to clean up the toxins and vote with our dollars. Because otherwise, we're going to be very ill as a population. And I know some of the same things are happening here in England. I looked at the processed food on the store shelves. It's more universal than just the United States.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We are. Some of your vegetables are grown cleaner than ours are.
Yeah. So what's next for Cheryl Meyer?
Well, now I'm writing a book. Everybody keeps saying, how can I do this without being deprived? And I am hardly deprived. So I'm going to write the ultimate guide for how do I live this way? How do I cook like a short order cook? How do I buy organic and not go broke? How do I go out to eat? How do we travel by car from Los Angeles to San Francisco? What do we have? What do we do? There's little tricks that I have learned that I want to share with people so that they can adopt it, so that they can live this way too.
Yeah.
So that's the project. And it's going to be called Good Feels Good.
Fantastic. That's really good, because some people, yes, of course, they want to clean up, they want to detoxify, but they don't know how to, or they can't be bothered, or they don't have enough time, and they think there's going to be a lot of time spent having to do it. I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
And I'm going to have a whole appendix in the second book where you can get clean products that I found. I've started something called my Golden Broccoli Awards, because the illustration of broccoli is me. So I'm giving out golden broccolis to clean products, clean housekeeping products, great restaurants that I find where I can eat, which is not easy. And that's going to be a whole appendix in the back of the book, which does not exist at this point for anyone.
Wonderful. So where can Book Talk Radio Club listeners purchase It Feels Good to Feel Good? Sorry, Feels Good to Feel Good.
It's available on Amazon. I just put it on KDP Select. So if you're a member of get it for free on your Kindle or type device. But the book is $20 on Amazon, and you can also buy it from my website, which is www.cherylmhealthmuse.com.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cheryl. That was fascinating. Please come back on to Book Talk Radio Club when you've published your next book, and I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future, and thank you everyone for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you. It was an honor to be here, Claire.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.